been a summer of change so far at Real Madrid. There are new faces on the pitch with a new young coach to lead them. But can they bounce back from a disappointing 2024-25 season? Put themselves back in contention for winning trophies in this upcoming campaign. Hello and welcome to Football Now, here from the Al Bayt Stadium in Qatar. Winning is part of the very fabric of Real Madrid, who are considered by many to be the world's biggest football club. So, by their standards, ending a season trophyless, like they just have done, is seen as a huge failure. As a result, we've seen quite a few changes this summer, and we are on the cusp of seeing a new era begin at the Bernabeu. The 2024-25 season brought a year of near misses for Los Blancos. In what proved to be the final season for Carlo Ancelotti, a coach used to winning everything, Madrid finished second in La Liga, as well as losing the final of the Copa del Rey and being knocked out of the Champions League in the quarter-finals. Just 12 months earlier, Madrid had been crowned champions of Europe and La Liga winners. It begs the question, did Ancelotti leave a season too late?
Yeah, you can make the argument that it would have been a great time to leave, that perhaps it has been a season too far. The main problem this season, the amount of chances they're conceding. Last season, they lost just one La Liga game. They were so dominant both in La Liga and the Champions League, but they've lost that this season. It is a shame this season, the way it looks like it's ended his time in club football, but it certainly hasn't taken anything away from his legacy.
The thing about Real Madrid is, if they're down, they don't stay down for long. A new wave of ambition this summer has seen it be out with the old and in with the new. Carlo Ancelotti has moved on. He's become the head coach of the Brazil national team, and he's been replaced by former Madrid midfielder Xabi Alonso, who's now moulded himself into one of the most promising young coaches in Europe.
Real Madrid, they want to go younger. They saw what Xabi Alonso did at Bayer Leverkusen last season when he was the winner of the title undefeated and could have gone the entire season undefeated in all competitions had they not lost in the Europa League final to Atalanta. But the levels to which he was able to raise that club and some unheralded players inspired Real Madrid to say to themselves, we need this guy, let's get him. And he, at 43 years of age, is likely to be a really good fit with Real Madrid, given his low maintenance, his high profile, and the fact that he's an outstanding player in his own right.
Alonso has so far proven himself to be an elite coach in Germany during his time with Bayer Leverkusen. But his style and formations may prove to be quite a drastic change for some of Real's players. So will this lead to a bit of a period of adaptation and the need for Madrid's expectant fans to stay patient before success arrives?
Yeah, we do know what the Real Madrid fans are like, and it's difficult not to be, kind of spoilt for success as they have been. And they will need to be patient. They'll need to accept that there'll be teething problems, 100%. At Man United, Ruben Amorim's taken a year to implement his strategy and it's still not really there. Hopefully that won't be the case for Real Madrid and a bit of a faster transition into the Xabi Alonso way of football, but they will have to be patient. That defensive solidity and just being more solid and not conceding as many chances will be the priority first. Whenever a new manager comes in and tries to bring in his ideas, you have to start from the back, and that's been a huge problem for Real Madrid. And it won't be that pretty at the start, and that will have to come first. I'm sure some of these players will struggle with the pressing demands that will be put on them. The Real Madrid fans are intelligent, and they're certainly intelligent enough to see where the game is going, to see what an asset they will have in terms of Xabi Alonso as a manager, and they will buy into it as much as the players will, I think, too.
Alonso does have a big task on his hands this summer. He'll be keen to put his stamp on the team and refresh quite a few positions. He's already sorted the ongoing issue Real Madrid have had at right back by bringing in Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it's worth keeping an eye on the changes he will make in midfield too. With the likes of Toni Kroos and Luka Modric leaving the club in successive summers, it's time for some fresh faces and fresh energy in the middle of the park.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of the kind of noises from the Real Madrid press in the last kind of year have been very much along the lines of, we're looking for the next Toni Kroos, but there just isn't one, and that's kind of fair enough. And I think it could be a little bit sink or swim, and I think Alonso will try and get a better idea of what he has in that sense. I think Dean Housen and Alexander-Arnold could be crucial in that sense, because both of those are players that like to get on the ball, that find ways to break lines and find ways to kind of supply the attacking talent up the pitch. Definitely, I think there is a little bit of a hole, and I think if you ask Alonso in his most private of moments, he would confess that he would like another midfielder to come in and kind of set the tone or set the kind of rhythm of his team.
A changing of the guard then at Real Madrid as Xabi Alonso looks to lead Los Blancos to more glory next season. Let us know if you think he'll be a success at the Bernabeu using the hashtag #FootballNowHalaMadrid. That's all we've got time for though here this week. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.